So, do you want to play it safe for 135 across for 2 hits or go all out for 160 for 3?
Welcome to my new viewers. To my subscribers, welcome back. My name is Mike. This is my channel where I look at, review, and try different craps strategies. Thanks for joining.
Hey guys, it's Mike. Thanks for joining the channel. Hey, I wanted to just show a couple things that I was playing around with today. I watched a video from Color Up, and it's an old one where he actually played a strategy that he called 135 across, 2 hits to win. And I watched it and I started thinking a little bit about it. He doesn't put any bets on the point. So I think that's how he gets the 135 across. It's a $25 across, which is normally a 160 for at the $25 level. And the only difference I saw is, like I said, he didn't put any bets on the point itself, and he tried to get 2 hits and then regress down to a 64 across strategy. And I'm going to run that out for a little bit, and then I'm going to show you another strategy where we keep the 160. We keep the bet on the point and put 25 across. And it was a strategy that Mark the Point, the channel Mark the Point showed, where he tries to hit 3 hits. And the difference is really something that you need to look at, because the 3 hits, he invests every bit of his winnings back into the bet, back onto the playing field. And the issue with that is, and he tells you right up front, that if you don't get 3 hits, you're going to lose at the strategy, because you're taking all your winnings and putting them back onto the bets. And so when you do hit a 7 out, you've lost everything. You lost your 160 across plus all your winnings. But if you can get to that 3rd hit, then you would regress down to a 110 inside and play from that point. So I'm going to play them both. And I'm going to try to start with Color Up's 135 across, 2 hits to win. So let me get that set up for you and show you how this works. It's not a hard strategy. Basically, we're going to wait for a point to be established. Let me make sure I'm in turbo mode. There we go. So let's get a point. Okay, the point's a 5. Now let me turn this on and let me go to the $25 and say across. And I'll pull down the bet on the 5. So you can see I've got 135 across. Not sure exactly why. Why wouldn't you want to win if you roll your point? But that's the strategy. And what you're looking for is 2 hits. 2 hits should give you enough profit to then regress down to 64 across and then play with the profits. And you're completely out of the hand, which means your initial investment is back in your rack. And you're now playing with profits, casino money, winnings, whatever you want to call it. So let's look for 2 hits here. Okay, there's an 11. That's a hit, but it's not a box number. I mean, it's not a 7. Okay, there's an 8. So the 8's going to pay us $35. So we want one more hit, and then we will regress. So we're not going to get it there. So that's a 7 out. So we're going to set back up, wait for a point to be established. There's a 7. Doesn't hurt us on the come out. Okay, there's a 5. Let's go ahead and put 25 across. Take the 5 down. That's 135. Looking for 2 hits. See, there's a 5. That's the point. We would have gotten paid on that. But the strategy says don't put any money on the point. So these bets are now off because the puck is off. We're going to establish a new point. Okay, there's a 12. And there's an 8. So let's take the 8 down and let's put the 5 up. That's 130. When you get a hit on a 6 or an 8, you're actually only going to have 130 across because you don't need the cap. You don't need that extra $5 cap. Okay, so now we have 130 across, looking for 2 hits. There's an 11. Okay, there's a 6. There's a hit. And there's a 4. There's your 2 hits. So now we're going to pull everything down. And we're now going to go to a 64 across at the $10 level. Okay, now here we're going to play every number, every box number. And what we do here is we play a collect and regress. Anything that you really want to transition into, or depending on your level of risk and how the dice are rolling, you can transition to other strategies if you wish. But let's go ahead and roll. Okay, there's a 10. We're going to collect. That's a $19 win. We're going to collect that. There's an 8. Okay, and that's the point. The puck goes off, but the 12 pays $14. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and press this up to 24. And we'll make sure those bets are off because the puck is off, and we're going to roll for a point. Okay, there's a 9. Now the bets are on. We pressed on the 8. We're going to collect. There's a 2. And there's a 6. So we're going to collect. The next will be a press. And there's a 7 out. So as you can see, you collect, you press. You need 2 hits to get to the regression down to 64 across. And it just seems like even though we hit a couple and we pressed up, we eventually did hit the 7, and we're still digging out of a hole. So let me show you this other strategy. Kind of the same, but much more aggressive. Here we're going to play with the entire 25 across, or 160. So let's start over. So we know we were down a little bit on that strategy. Let's go ahead and reset our table. And let's go to turbo. Turn on our 6 and 8. Now, let's get a point. There's a 7 on the come out. Doesn't hurt us. Another 7. And there's a 9. Okay, the point's a 9. Now, let's play 25 across. But let's bet every box number for 160. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. And you need to have a pretty high level of risk, a high tolerance, because you want 3 hits here before you do anything. And when you do get a hit, you're going to reinvest all of your winnings. Let me show you what that looks like. Okay, there's a 12. Okay, there's an 8. That pays $35. So what the channel, Mark the Point, what they basically show you here is out of that $35, you want to basically reinvest all of it. So you can take, I think he pretty much bumps the 6 and 8 up because those numbers get hit. So we could take this up to another 36 by just dropping $1 down. We can go 18 and 18. Different things that we can do. I think in his example, I think he put 30 of it on the 8. And then that other, the remaining 5, I think he racked it because I think there's really no place to put a $5 bet. So let's go ahead and try to get our second hit. Again, we want 3 hits. Okay, there's a 5. That also pays a little more than 36. So what we can do is we can put 25 of it right on the 5. Let's go ahead and double that. And that leaves us with 11, but we had the 5 before, so we already got 16 to play with. We could do, we could do 16. We could do 10. Oops, not 25s. Let's do 10 on the 4, 10 on the 10, and that's 10. And I think we'll end up with like $6 left. Okay. Let's go ahead and get that third hit. Okay, there's the third hit. That wins 68. Now, after the third hit, he likes to regress down to 110 inside. So we take everything down, 110 inside. Looks like that. 25, inside with caps on the 6 and 8. And then here, he says you do whatever you feel is comfortable with your level of risk. So I would suggest something like your first hit, maybe getting the 4 and the 10 bought so that you've got all your box numbers. Okay, but you're basically going down to 110 so that you can lock in some of this profit. So let's go ahead and roll. Okay, there's a 5 that pays 36. So we could easily take 15 on the 4 and 15 on the 10. That's 30, and we can rack $6. Let's roll again. Okay, there's the 8. Let's collect that. Let's just collect that because we've already got all the box numbers covered now with our last hit. So let's collect and let's see if we can't press up on the next one. Nope, that's a 7 out. But if you look at this, it's got higher risk but higher reward. So we rolled about the same number of times. I think we rolled 15 times on the first strategy, and it showed a loss. This had a little bit more risk involved in it. It didn't even put any money in the rack until you hit 3 times. But when you did hit the 7 out, you're still at a $70 profit. So similar type strategies. One plays every box number. One doesn't play the point. One wants 2 hits. One wants 3 hits. And one's much more aggressive than the other. Really based on your level of risk. So those are 2 different types of place bet strategies, placing across and regressing after 2 or 3 hits, and then reinvesting into another strategy. So very short video today. Just wanted to give that a quick try. And if that's something that you are not as risky about, you may not want to do the 163 hits. You may want to stay with the 135 2 hits. Okay. Anyway, that's our video for today. Hope everyone's doing well. As usual, leave me a comment. Don't forget to subscribe and give me a thumbs up if you like it. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.